Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by Tachi Palace Fights Bantamweight champion Ulysses Gomez. Ulysses, how are you?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Ulysses, you got a fight coming up at TPF 13 against Adam Rothweiler. How's training been going for the fight?
Training for a camp, it's always has its highs and lows, man. Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail, But all that matters is that you're not the nail at the time when the fight happens, So training for the top was kind of rough, but nothing ever goes smoothly,
Was today the last day of hard training?
No, actually, my last day of hard sparring was Tuesday. Then my last day of strength conditioning was Thursday. I usually stop about for a week out of the fight, and after that, it's just kind of like keeping my time sharp, getting my weight down, and all that good stuff,
Is this a title fight, non-title fight, flyweight fight? Where's this fight going to take place at?
This is going to be at 125, so I had to relinquish my belt at 135 to take this fight.
Oh.
Deep down inside, I'm a 125-pounder as much as I hate to admit it, But, so that's why I had to go back down.
Your opponent, how much do you know about him?
I don't know very much, but I'll definitely find out firsthand in a couple days.
Have you seen anything on tape that, might pose a problem to you, or you really are going in there cold, not really knowing what he brings?
I saw one of his fights, but, the fight was like from a year and a half ago. And the problem with studying too much footage is you start at anticipate stuff, and when you start at anticipate stuff, is when you get yourself in trouble and get yourself caught. So while I'm trying to anticipate stuff, I just try to go out there and just capitalize on whatever mistakes he makes.
Do you feel that this is a step up in competition? Because a lot of people feel like this is a lateral step compared to the guys that you've fought recently, whether it be Cody Gibson, Darrell Montague, Travis Redinger. Is this a step up in competition, do you feel like?
Every fight's hard. As far as a step up competition, I'm not sure. Right now, nobody really wants to take a tough fight, because UFC just over the 125-pounder, so they're trying to preserve, get one last one before they go to the big show. He's the only guy that they offer me. I'll fight anybody anytime. It doesn't matter to me,
Are you disappointed that you're not in the main event or co-main event because you've had 2 belts for that organization, or does that really not matter to you where you fight on the card?
I'm a little bummed, but same as that time, the way I look at it, I'm always the main event. Any fight that happens after me is just extra fights, That's the way I look at it in my eyes.
You're 9-2, he's 7-3. Experience, record-wise, is pretty much even, but looking at it on paper, you fought the tougher competition. How much does that mean when the fight starts? Does it play a factor at all?
It means a lot going into the fight, because you tell yourself, this guy's a fight guys that you fought. You have to train with guys that you train with. But ultimately, once you go in there, and you stand, the fight happens, everything that you think doesn't matter matters, and everything that you think matters doesn't matter, So it's kind of weird how it works out.
You fought one time for Bellator, which was a win, a split decision win over Travis Redinger. What exactly happened with them?
I had actually, when I fought them, I had caught staph. I guess I didn't know I had staph going into the fight. I got staph, and then I remember, I think I was supposed to fight, I think in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't remember exactly what it was. And I found I had staph, so I wanted to I asked them basically if they could push the fight back a week or 2, so I could probably heal from the staph, because when you have staph, you can't do anything,
Right.
And they said that they couldn't because they had a schedule as far as the TV, and they needed to do it that day, which I understand, So they gave me the obstacle, that you could either back out of the tournament, or you can fight with, or you can fight with the staff. It's totally up to you, They supported me with whatever decision I did, and I decided, to kind of opt out of the tournament. So I opted out of the tournament, and then, long story short, I ended up, I kind of asked to get released from my contract because I want to go back down to 125, and, that's pretty much what happened.
From what I understand, you're a vegetarian. Are you a lifelong vegetarian, or this is just a recent development?
I've been a vegetarian since the new year. It was more like every year I kind of challenge myself, so I remember 2008, my goal was to give up alcohol, so I gave up alcohol. 2009, my goal was to give up soda, so I gave up soda. Then I didn't do anything in 2010 or 11. And this year, I was like, I want to see if I can give up meat. And two of my friends were like, no, you can't do it, man. That'd be way too hard. So I did it, I'm doing it more just to tell myself that I can do it, just to prove to them that I can also.
I've always been curious, how did you get your nickname, Useless?
Oh, I just in high school, everybody gives you weird nicknames, and that's one that stuck,
Oh.
And I remember when I started training with Mark Lehman, he asked if I had a nickname, I said Useless. I think that was the funniest thing, so go on with that.
There's been guys who have fought in Tachi Palace fights and have won the title, and that seems to be the ticket to the UFC. Guys like Ian McCall, Michael McDonald, John Alessio, Eddie Yagan, David Mitchell, all these guys, all champions of Tachi Palace. A win here, do you think that gets you a spot in the UFC, or do you think that you'll have to do a little bit more?
I don't know, man. I mean, if you look at, like you said, Ian McCall, he won the belt at 125. I was the first one to have the belt at 125. He had it because he had it vacated, but he's in the UFC. He's in that tournament. Michael McDonald, he had the belt at 135. He vacated the belt, and I ended up fighting for the belt. I won the belt, but anyways, he just knocked out Michael McDonald. He just knocked out Miguel Torres. Eddie Yagan at 145 had the belt for Tachi Palace. He just beat Mark Hominick. Alessio had the belt at 55. He fought, at 70s. Fought Mark Bocek like on 2 weeks' notice. That was a really good fight, So it definitely is. It's a good belt to have, because it's kind of fast track to the UFC, but at the same exact time, I thought I would definitely get a phone call after I got the belt at 35s, but I haven't. And they just called Cisco Rivera to fight, at Soto on May 15th, and he was gonna fight for the belt that I just had because I vacated, So I don't know what they're trying to do, man. I'm just trying to win every fight, man. I figured the more fights I win, the more likely they'll have to call me.
The UFC is going on this long run where they're going to be basically doing a show every week. If you do get a win here, is it going to be right back into training because, maybe something coming up on short notice? Is it going to be right back in training for you after this fight?
You know what? I had this conversation with one of my buddies, and I will go right back to training. But it won't be like I'm training for a fight, because he told me that you always gotta be ready to fight, because the UFC can call you at any moment. But my problem with that though is that if I'm a 135 pounder or 155 pounder, especially like 155 pounder, then you always gotta be ready, because they have 155 pounders fight on every show. So if someone like John Alessio.
Right.
At 155, they called him on 3 weeks' notice, so he always has to be ready,
Right.
The thing with 125 is the UFC only has 8 guys, maybe, on their roster, and I know out of those 8 guys, 4 of them are fighting tonight, and 2 of them are fighting June 6th, so I know, I should be training right around June 6th, in case someone, gets hurt or pulls out,
Right.
So that's the luxury we have right now, because there's not that many guys, and let them that many fights at 125, so it's kind of would be easier to train for somebody coming up. But you always want to be ready. It's stay ready. You gotta get ready.
Right. Is this basically kind of a number one contenders fight at 125 for TPF? Because I noticed Darrell Montague, he's fighting on the card too. If you guys should both win, that would be a nice rematch.
Yeah, as far as I don't know, this is my last fight on my contract for Tachi Palace. I don't know how many fights Darrell has. I think more so than anything, that we both want to get the win and hopefully move on to the bigger show. But if that doesn't happen, I'm not sure, because Jassur's still under contract with them, and he's always it would always be an interesting fight, because he was the number 1 ranked guy in the world. So it all depends on who you ask.
Ulysses, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you would like to thank? Anything you want to say to the fans?
I just want to thank you guys, if it's not the UFC, or like Bellator, or those bigger shows, it's hard for us, guys to get recognition. So I just want to thank you for hosting about us, especially for the flyweight. It's kind of hard for us. We've been fighting for years to get our fair share, we'll finally get it now. So I appreciate all the help that you guys are doing for us.
Sure. Ulysses, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck at Tachi Palace Fights 13 against Adam Rothweiler.
All right, buddy, thank you.